Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode here on the Xisuminati Modpack server. You ready for some modded Minecraft? Well, I know that I am. I'm in the mood and I'm going to be live streaming later today, so I wanted to record a little clip to bring you all up to speed. Now of course when you're watching this video, that live stream would have already happened. That's the way these videos are going to be. I'm going to be telling you when live streams will happen because later on I'll come back with a load of progress from the things that we did in that stream. Anyway, this episode I'm going to be answering a lot of questions here at the beginning because I put out the last episode and there were so many questions in the comments. I realised that there was a lot of stuff you guys didn't understand or know about, and I just wanted to bring you up to speed. But first of all, I want to show you the things that we've done in this area in between episodes. Haven't done any of this on a live stream, by the way. I cleared out all of this area down here. We're going to be building in this area. I'm going to have to clear out a lot more of this land, and so I just made a start on that. So that's been cleared out. Then over here I set up an oreberry farm, and to my amazement it is full, loaded to the top. It looks like it's actually finished harvesting completely, which is a sign that this chest is full. It's almost full to the brim. That's absolutely amazing. And it's full of sludge, which is something we've got to remove, I think, to let it continue working, because there's actually room for a few more things. So that's amazing. And I know a lot of you are watching and probably wondering what the ore berries are, because like me, a lot of you are probably very vanilla oriented. And as from reading the comments on the previous video, I could see that I'm going to have to explain things with a little bit more detail. So there is a mod called Tinker's Construct, and this is the ore berry, which is a part of it. You'll find these when you go caving. They're just in caves. And basically when they're fully grown you can right click on them and you get a little bit of this stuff. Now I think you need 9 of these in total to create an ingot of aluminium, so that's what they're used for. And you can see that I've gone caving, collected a load, planted them down here, and now we've got this harvester over here which has been upgraded, so it has a bigger collection radius, and with some power from over there it's simply outputting these into a chest. And that's how it works. Now you'll notice that I've strategically positioned the torches around here. That's because I think these need low light levels to grow. But I don't know the exact numbers and I don't know exactly what I'm talking about. Also, with the mods you can press F7 and it shows you areas where mobs will be able to spawn. So if we just like remove a few torches here and there, we'll see these red X's appear, and then you just know where it is you need to place your torches down like that to stop them spawning. So all of that's really cool. I don't think there's too much else to mention. I can't remember if this was up to scratch in the last recording, but you can see here we're now up to 5,900 ender pearls because this thing is self-sufficient and running around the clock, which is absolutely amazing. And that thing's still not full of ender lilies. Those things actually takes quite a while to get extra ones of those, as you can see. So I've got a whole bunch of things to address, and before we get to that, one final thing to mention, I've also adjusted the height of these floors because we want to fit in a very specific floor that's going to go below here, which is going to be the project of my next live stream actually, so I might have something to show you this video from that. I want to build a floor where we have all of the chisel blocks in the game. Let's open that mod up right here. All of the chisel blocks, as many as I can get, in one big room so you can walk around and look at them close up and decide which texture you want to use. And so the block that I want to use to achieve this room is the inverted sky block. Bam! This block is absolutely incredible. In fact, I was pranked by the guys on the server. They filled the inside of my base with this stuff and they totally got me. I thought that there was some sort of error. In fact, I'm going to link to that video in the description box down below because I uploaded it to my second channel. And yeah, this thing is really cool. So it's the inverted sky block. I mean, you can look it up if you've got the mod pack yourself and craft that if you want to, but it's seriously cool. And we're going to build our entire floor out of those blocks, so then it's like you've got floating chisel blocks in the void, so you can sort of jump in there and look at them. I think it's going to be great. Anyway, questions to be answered. So I've had tons of requests to add particular mods into the mod pack. I'm going to tell you right now, me and Joe discussed it at length. We wanted to keep the amount of mods down to the minimum. We wanted it to be more accessible for new players and lighter on the computer as well. So there's probably some sort of mod in here that you think, oh, it should really be in the pack, but we're going to try and keep it as light as possible. You know, there's other packs if you want to play with different mods. We also got a lot of questions in the comments about why this mod or that mod wasn't included. There's kind of a reason behind everything, but I'm not going to go into explaining why each and every single mod that could have been considered was or wasn't included. So the next thing to mention is that this is the Patreon server as well. A lot of you are asking who the other people on the server were. How do you get on there? This is my Patreon server. I'm hoping to have more than just one in the future. The deal with my Patreon thing is that I'm going to play with my Patreons on servers and games that I can do when I live stream, and this is one of those things that I do when I live stream. So that's who's here on the server. These are my Patreons right here. And the other thing to mention is that this mod pack is public. You can get hold of it. There'll be a link down there in the description box. There'll also be a link to a tutorial if you need help installing it. The next thing is that we have a schedule for this. My aim is to put out one of these videos per week, and I know some of you will want more than that, and for an LP of this style it's probably better to put more than one episode out a week, but the thing is, I'm live streaming this, I'm doing progress in the live streams, and I think if I were to try and push out 2 episodes of this a week, it would really kind of take its toll, because I'm balancing it with, you know, Hermitcraft, Vanilla, and all sorts of other things as well. So just the 1 episode a week, and it's going to be a different style of video because we're live streaming in between and all that kind of stuff. So you can also get more of this on the second channel, because I'll upload my live streams there as well, so there'll be a link to that down there in the description box. Now, I'm almost done with the rambling. Thanks for bearing with me. I've got a couple more things to show you. So first of all, I've been given some information from you kind people in the comment box down below. We have the knapsack right here, and I was asking questions about how this works. It turns out you can put items in here. When you die, it's not going to be included in your gravestone. So when you die in this mod pack, you'll have a gravestone that you can break and get all of your items back. So that way they don't fly out everywhere. However, whatever you have in your knapsack will actually fly out. So if ever we're to use this, it's not going to be for valuables, just in case we die. As well as that, we also have the belt, which is from the same mod. So the knapsack, Tinker's Construct, the belt is Tinker's Construct, and apparently when you die, you actually keep everything that's in your belt. So when we press B to swap these around, you'd actually keep all those extra items, which is interesting, and I think I'm going to start making use of that one, because I do like the 2 hotbars feature. Another thing to mention is that that B key also conflicted with another mod before, so I've rebound the key, and now this thing works just fine. And something else that's really cool I got a suggestion for is to check out this portable dual work table. Now you've got to keep this in your inventory. Thing is, if you put it in that part of your inventory, I'm pressing P and I can't open it. If it's in my hotbar though, we can make use of it. And now it opens. So it's a portable dual work table. It keeps the items inside of it, which is amazing. It's just like this thing over here, where you could see the items like on top of it, which is just so cool. And you can put that in your inventory. What I'm curious to know is, can I press B, and while it's in my other hotbar, can I press P? No, it has to be in the one on your inventory. So it'd be really nice if you could open that without it taking a slot, but I think that's a fair trade-off, considering that's 2 crafting benches that hold the items, you know, that you can just access without going over to a crafting bench. So really, really cool stuff. Anyway, I've kind of rambled on and talked about all the things that I wanted to, so I'm going to do a live stream, and of course, when I next record, I'll have some progress to show you. So, live stream complete, and welcome back to the base. This thing kind of looks horrendous now, doesn't it? It's yeah, it's halfway through being done with these inverted sky blocks, and it looks real bizarre to fly around here at the moment. Now obviously we're going to construct a room in this space above, and you're going to be contained inside that room. You'll never sort of see this angle again in the future, but right now it does look really kind of chaotic, and that's because of these blocks right here, the inverted sky blocks. They kind of mess with your head as you look around. And we put a load of these in. If we drop down below to where the next floor is going to be, you can really sort of get the idea of what this is going to be like with all of the chisel blocks in the room, and sort of discussed it a little bit on the live stream. What I'm going to do is, in between recording, is get all of these chisel blocks into this room, and I don't think we're going to aim for this being spaced out too much. We have a visitor. Where's Bunny is here? Yeah, we're not aiming to space these out too much, which was my original intention. I'm going to space them out based on what type of block they are. Like this one, it's one texture on all sides. You don't need to see it from all different sides, whereas a block like this does kind of need to be spaced out so you can get an idea of what exactly it is that it's done. And it looks like Mini-Me has picked me up and is holding me. Oh, and he's dragging me under blocks. Watch out, guy. This guy has escaped. Yes, I have a bunch of Mini-Me's over here. It was a gift, and one of them escaped, and he picks me up from time to time. Oh, that is so derpy. So yeah, one of the things I've got to do is lay out all the different blocks in this room, and we're going to try and make it as small as possible. I'll check that out in a second. We're going to try and make it as small as possible, because these blocks are causing some lag. Let's have a look at my frames now. We are up to around 30 frames per second here, and that is a massive drop, and the room isn't finished yet. So what I've been told is that the game, it draws the sky in the background, then it draws all of the blocks, and then it draws another sky in front of it because of these ones, which is kind of an inefficient way of doing things, and so that really kind of tanks our frames, as you can see. We're down to like 30 FPS in this area. Now what I was hoping is that once it's all finished and it's not rendering these other blocks, it would be a little better in here, or maybe when you're in the room above and you don't even see the sky blocks, that it might be better. No idea if either of those are going to work, but probably not, probably wishful thinking. So we do need to reduce the size of that room, which is something I aim to do. There's also a magnum torch right here. One of the problems is that mobs can spawn on these blocks, and yet you can't really see where those places are. As you can see, it's dark over here. If I were to slap down a torch, a little mini Asuma would light up because of the light levels, and he's picked me up again. He keeps doing that. Yeah, so we've got a magnum torch in here to stop mob spawning, which basically stops mob spawning, I think, in like a giant 64 by 64 by 64 cube. So no mobs are going to be spawning on the top either, which is pretty cool actually. I was going to illuminate all of that at some point. But anyway, we've done so much talking now. I think it's time for me to do some building. I want to get this room right here developed a little bit further, and then get some more of the room below done as well. Okay, so when it comes to designing this room, I don't really have much of a master plan, but here is something that I think's okay. I like where this is going. I like the combination of the grey and the yellow, but also this yellow comes with some green as well. So 3 colours working together. Things like these crafting benches, which are actually dual work tables, so I crafted a stack of these. These are going to be great because I found often when playing modded that you just kind of want to leave crafting tables around with stuff that you want to craft in, like quite often, so having those on the floor is going to be good. And over here, by the way, I set up all of the different blocks. I was just having a look at them. At the moment, the pack doesn't have a recipe to link together the end stone bricks and the ones that you use in the chisel, which I've actually just finished using 2 stacks of. So that's something that'll be fixed in the future. And I don't think this is the most impressive thing, but as we start to add in more things on the walls and then the roof come into play, we can probably make it a lot better. And I'm also thinking that this room is going to need access to a lot of machines as well, so it's quite likely that some of this stuff might get ripped out and changed to other things that you can sort of interact with, like you do the crafting tables, but I don't really know what that's going to be until we come across them. Also, oh, strange lighting bugs. We've got just, random light coming through the blocks here. I don't know what that's about. Yeah, anyway, so this is coming together well. I do like it. By the way, I tried out Optifine, and Optifine is not compatible with these inverted sky blocks. So I'm very tempted now to actually go back on my idea and remove these because they're causing frame issues. But for now, we're just going to focus on the room above. And the next thing that we're going to put in the room is some caches. But I'll explain them once they're actually put into this room. So, multiple things to report on at the moment. This room here is looking good with this part of the ceiling. When the rest of it's done, though, I think it is going to look a lot better. I want to use some carpenter's blocks up there and stuff like that. Anyway, these are the caches over here. I mean, I think that's the way you say it, cache. I'm not sure what else that word would be, but these are what we're going to use to hold items in our game. And there's several reasons, one of them being that they can hold a ridiculous amount of items. This is the basic level right here. We craft them like this, and then what you'd do is you put the cache into the middle of another set of ingots to go up to the next level, and it goes up like 4 levels, I think, and then you can hold 64,100 items or something ridiculous. These just hold 10,000 at the moment, so I've migrated a lot of our materials over here. But as I said, the reason that I like this is because you can see the item right in front of you, you can look at it and see how many items are in there, and you've got a little meter to tell you as well, which is really cool. Now, a lot of these materials, my plan is to automate the creation of them, like obsidian and sand, and then we can automate making sandstone with that as well, with automatic crafting. We were doing a little bit of that down here. As you can see, we've got a few things, although my first attempt at creating a machine didn't really go too well. It kind of backs up and doesn't produce everything, so I've got to figure that stuff out. But the idea is that we're going to automate the creation of a lot of materials in here, which is a big part of playing modded, is automation. And we're going to use retrieval nodes to get all the items into these caches. So this is the recipe right here. We now have an incentive to create an emerald farm, but also probably a redstone farm as well. I mean, getting wood is pretty easy with the lumber axe. Stone, we can create that very easily. And the pipes, yeah, there's a few things here and there that's going to require some automation. I'm not sure what Autumn's doing at the moment. Looking at all the blocks, probably. So yeah, we'll put the retrieval nodes on the back, and what they'll do is go and look at something else to find the item it wants to put in front of it. That means each one of those will have an item filter as well, and they're probably all going to hook up to our storehouse, which will be like our master input, and then it can extract the blocks that it needs to go into our master storage, which will be on the walls. Now, not all of them are going to have caches on. Other ones will have machines and things that we want to use as well. In fact, I've kind of reserved this space right here for that interface, so who knows? Things will probably get rearranged a lot as well. No idea what happens when you break one of these. Let's find out. This one's only got 600 items in. Does it keep them? I also just picked up a stack for myself. Yes, it holds the items in there. Look at that. You can have a look at it while it's in your inventory. That's excellent. Good to know. Anyway, let's go down to the chisel farm. Chisel farm? The chisel floor. By the way, my frames have drastically improved in this area, so I'm going to leave F3 open for a little bit. I've got a theory as to why, but when we're down here, we're now getting like, 50 you saw there. It's a little bit better when I'm not recording, which is strange because we are using OBS. Anyway, my theory is that now that there's more stuff down here, it's doing less drawing of the sky blocks, and therefore it's a little bit better on performance. I don't know. Anyway, this is what the Chisel Room is going to be like. I've only done a few blocks so far, but basically you can teleport down here, walk around and just look at all the different block types and see them from the different angles, and ones that have like different types of textures or ones that join together I've sort of grouped up into fours. So far we've done end stone over here, we've got regular stone. I think the others are going to be helping out and plopping down the other designs as well by the looks of it, which is awesome. And over here we've got, let's see, copper and aluminium. They actually have some familiar textures, which is really cool. And this room is just going to be useful for anyone who plays on here as well, not just myself, because you can come down here, have a look and get some inspiration. Like, that's a carpet block, but you could probably use that in an industrial build. In fact, you could use some of these as wall textures. They are really nice. I like these ones. I can't wait to do more building on this server. It's going to be a lot of fun, and these are really cheap to make as well. You could easily farm those blocks. I mean, we've technically already got half the farm over here because we're farming wool. I've got a really great idea, which I'm going to mention now, so you guys can remind me in the live stream in case I forget. I had a comment saying that we should build the magic sheep farm and put all the different colours of sheep in and shear them that way. Now that I say it, I realise that's a little bit silly because you can just put one of these down with a bigger range. But anyway, eventually we'll have like a sheep farm with all the different type of sheep in. And I'm probably not going to record again now until I live stream. I'm going to do a few more bits and bobs, but my plan for the live stream is to start working on the retrieval nodes. That means making a farm for emeralds and making a farm for redstone. Probably going to start looking at MFR farming with mobs, which is not the most interesting of routes really. I like the vanilla way of farming things, you know, find a witch hut and build a farm around it, whereas these ones just involve finding an individual witch, capturing it, and then using energy that you've created out of thin air to spawn them over and over again. So yeah, that's kind of my plan at the moment, is to work on the retrieval nodes and start getting this system underway. So we just finished a live stream and made some pretty epic progress in this one. Usually things can be a little bit tedious. In this one we really managed to crack on and get a lot done. And we were aiming for emeralds for those retrieval nodes, and we have got them by the boatload. Not quite, but it's coming along. So over here we messed around and made a second sort of row of this right here. I've got plans to rebuild this later on. All this stuff is still temporary. Anyway, we put the oreberry bushes down here, or at least the ones that get essence, which is basically like XP. But we also need it to farm villages as well. So we collect that stuff. It goes into this ender chest right here. We're using the imaginary time block to speed things up. Then over here we've built another little farm. This takes those essence berries, and this is turned off at the moment, and it chucks them in here. So we're having a bit of a power shortage problem at the moment that I really need to investigate and figure out what's going on. I've also just noticed that where everyone's been digging around in this area, all of the netherrack from below here is gone. So these have just been ticking time bombs, haven't they? And all of the fuel's been taken out of them. Okay, so we know what's going on with that now. Anyway, the essence, or the autonomous activator, drops the essence down here. At the moment I'm picking it all up with my magnet, which is not what we want to do. These sewers right here then take the essence, and we can then put it into a ender tank using these retrieval nodes for liquids, which we have made in our QED over there. So then this is going to wirelessly transport them through the dimensions to another location. This stuff doesn't need to be here anymore. Let's pick that back up. So you can see that some power is being routed through over here. We've also got wireless powers now, so we'll come back to that in a second. The way that we're getting emeralds is through killing villagers in a smeltery, and it looks like this thing has actually stopped, which could be bad. You need to have a little bit of a liquid in there, and then when the villagers fall down on top of it, they'll take damage, and when they die, they turn into liquid emeralds. So this thing right here is an auto spawner. We've got a villager inside a safari net right there. You need essence and power. Ah, that's why it stopped, because we don't have power. So at the top here, no, we didn't add wireless power to this one yet. Okay, but anyway, I'll show you this in action in a moment. And by the way, this stuff is awesome. It's called Slime Channel. It's from Tinker's Construct. It's like a water stream, except it's just a single block by itself. So you can sort of point it in the direction you want it to push things, and we've used that there. It's really cool. So let's get that thing up and running. Let me show you the wireless power though quickly. We've actually got one over here. So this thing, if you put it inside the energy transfer node, it makes it wireless. So it's an ender transmitter. It's going to transmit the energy elsewhere. And then we also have receivers, which we'll have on the opposite end down here. And there you can see this thing is receiving. So anyway, I figured out what's wrong with this. I'm going to add some netherrack, going to get the thing running, and then you can see it spawning villagers in action. Well, you saw him die, at least. You can see the liquid emerald in there. Oh, and there you go, there's another one. So this is a very crude setup right here, but it's allowing us to get emeralds, which is just one of many things that we're going to need now. So although we can make the retrieval nodes, we're going to need a source of redstone as well, which is going to prompt us to make more of these farms and to do things permanently. So I've started putting in the very beginning, very beginning steps of the area down below, which is going to have our permanent farms. So all these things that we're setting up around here that we're doing to learn about how the different things work, they're going to be put permanently down below. We're going to decorate all of this with lovely chisel blocks and make it look real good. So down here is where the next floor is going to be. That's just a marker for the ceiling of this one, and this is where I can start digging out the land below. So the idea is that we're going to have a corridor set up. It's going to go off in maybe 4 different directions, maybe actually just 2. So it'll just go like in that way and that way, and this thing's broken, of course. So it'll go off in 2 directions, and then you'll be able to branch off the corridor into little rooms that have the farms in them, kind of like we did on Mod Source. So that's kind of the current plan at the moment, and when I'm going to wrap up this video, I don't know. I'm probably going to end up doing another live stream before I need to upload this one, so there'll probably be some more progress soon, or maybe not. Who knows? So I've just finished streaming, and that means that I got some progress to show you, although we kind of spent a lot of time looking at blocks, discovering some new chisel ones, which if we go down here, I guess I can kind of show you. This is sort of half unfinished. We got these grimstone blocks over here. They have nice textures, probably difficult to work with, but they have these horrible particle effects, which they look so out of place because they're not blocky, and I don't really like those. And so these ones right here are probably never going to build with because of that. Over here we've got the laboratory blocks and the factory blocks. These ones are really cool. Just sort of been laying these out a little bit. So as always, the chisel room is going to be expanding. Then down below we have something that actually turned out really great. So check this out. Actually coming back down here now, it's like wow, all over again. We just built this in the live stream. Spent a lot of time picking materials, picking the shape. This is going to be our corridor to all the different projects that we're going to do. So I'm going to point out like all the differences to you now. So the idea is that you come down here, you can go in that direction or this one, and then occasionally these panels will be replaced with entrances like this, which I need to kind of finish, and that'll take you into a project room where we'll have all sorts of contraptions and gizmos going on. And yeah, that's the idea of the corridor. So to make it look cool, we got concrete down here on the ground, which makes you move faster when you're on it, which is nice. So a bit of accelerated travel around here. And we got a different type in the middle that works as a connected texture to sort of show you where you can go to. So that will like branch off into a tunnel like this, then some darker ones on the outside. Then we got a lot of stone, we've got factory blocks, and we've even got carpet in here as well. And this stuff, which is a glowstone illuminator, apparently you can change the colour of that. And I like the default colour, that looks really great. Lovely animated texture, you can sort of see the other blocks through it a little bit. And that's kind of perfect. And then we've got these beams going across the ceiling. So that's the corridor design. I do want to build a bit more of this, which I'm probably going to do in between this one and the next, because I think now I'm going to upload this video to YouTube, and the next time I stream it will be after this video goes out, so you can sort of follow what's going on. So on the second channel where I upload the live streams, I've been labeling them now with which episode they're relevant to, so you can sort of see all that stuff that I've done, or if you watch the live streams already, you'll know which episode it's linked to, etc. Yeah, and that's about it. We haven't really done anything else. We kind of set up a few things over here. I've been talking about having like a little terminal for doing things right here, like enchanting down the bottom, and then you've got some redstone furnaces which have power as well as this energetic infuser. So Productive on the aesthetic side with the building. Doesn't feel like I've done too much though. We've got a lot more here to do in the base. Anyway, I think that's going to be it for this episode. Going to wrap things up here. So thanks for watching. Hope you're enjoying it. Be sure to leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think, especially about the kind of format of doing these live streams in between recording. Would love to know what you think about that. Anyway, I've rambled on for long enough. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye bye.